Today we'll be checking out the Magento 2 B2B vendor mobile application, and I've downloaded the Android version on my Android mobile device. So basically this app provides a platform for the suppliers and the business buyers to sell and buy the products at wholesale prices. The buyers can simply visit the product page and request the quote for the products, and can also send a message to the supplier right from the product page itself. So let's open this particular Magento 2 B2B vendor mobile application first. So here you can see this particular splash screen is there, and after that the app comes to life. And here you can see the offers are there, shop by categories, featured products, new products, hot deals are there, trending now, best offers, daily deals, and the recently viewed products are also there. At the bottom we have the option to back to the top, and that would take us to the back of top of the mobile application itself. Now on the left hand side we have the left drawer, so if I want I can bring it out, and from here you can see that we have at the top the option to sign into our account, and we can tap here on this particular option to sign in to our account there if we already have one. So from here we can sign in with the email, or we can create an account as well, or we can log in through the Google or the Facebook as well. Now on the side drawer here you can see that I have the categories as well. Below that we have the preferences having the languages, currency, the settings. And then we have the other section where we have the supplier registration and the supplier login and the marketplace as well. So for the supplier registration you can tap here on the supplier registration, enter the email, password, confirm your password, and proceed further to register as a supplier within the B2B system here. Apart from that, if you want to log into your account, you can tap on the supplier login, enter your details, tap on the sign in button, and you'll be able to sign into your supplier account. Now right now I've not logged into the supplier account, so I'll just be logging into that as well. We also have the marketplace option here that basically displays the details of the marketplace itself, the B2B marketplace, along with the sellers with taste, as you can see, and the rest of the details along with their products as well there. So now let's log into the seller panel there. So I'll just tap here on the supplier login, and I'll be entering my email address, password, and I'll be tapping here on the sign in button thereafter. So after I've logged in, if I bring up the sign panel here from the left to right, you can see that hello Mary Smith. So I've logged into the vendor dashboard there, and here you can see that I have one account option here. That's the dashboard, wishlist, orders. These are for the customer there. So the three main sections here for the customers are my requested quotes, request for quote, and the supplier's message. Then we have the supplier account having the supplier account options like the supplier dashboard, supplier profile, orders, attributes, add new products, supplier products, transactions, customers, chat with admin, customers message. And here you can find three main sections, or the two more sections that are the RFQs and the buying leads as well. Apart from that, we have the preferences that we have already seen, and the other section as well. And at the bottom we have the logout option. Now the customers can go ahead and can request for a quote by navigating to a product. So if I go ahead and if I search for a product there, for example, if I'm searching for a blue coat, I can go to the product page. So here I'm on the product page, and here you can see that we have two different options. One is request a quote and message supplier. So if we are sending a message to the suppliers can reply back, and the customers can view the same, and the same goes for the vendors as well. The vendors will receive the message and they can respond back to the customer directly there for any queries regarding this particular product within the B2B marketplace itself. Now to request a quote, you can tap here on the request a quote button, and that brings up this particular section to add the product. So here you need to enter the description. So for the time being, I'll just enter test description. Product quantity, I need 20 units. Expected price per quantity, I'll set it as 12. Then whether samples are required or samples are not required. You can also add sample images by tapping on the sample images, and then you can use your camera or your local file there, or your gallery to upload your particular sample images. So for now I'm not going to do that. So after that, on the top right hand corner, I'll tap on the tick mark, and you can see that request for quote. Within that we have the products and the information of the product. So we have the blue quote, quantity is 20, price is 12 per quantity, and the samples are not required. Now we'll be setting up the quote information. So here you need to enter the quote title. So for the test purposes, I'll be just entering quote QUOTE, quote title. Then we have the quote brief. So here you can set the brief about the quote itself. So I'll just set it as quote brief. Then we have to enter the contact. So I'll enter it as Mervyn Bank. I'll set the company name. I'll set the address, and I'll be entering the contact number there. And if I have any attachments, I can tap here on the add attachment. I add an attachment there as well. So thereafter you need to tap on the request for quote button, and the request for quote button would be sent out to the respective supplier there. Now this requested quote is visible to the customer under my requested quotes, as you can see. So here you can see that we have the view products, blue quote, the quote status is new. And if I tap here on the view option, we can see the different sections here, like new, pending, answered, rejected, and approved. So right now we don't have any seller proposals there. So let's go back. So that's how you can do it from the product page. Apart from that, you can also do that by bringing up the side panel. As a customer, you can go to the request for quote option here, and here you can enter the quote. First you need to enter the products by tapping on the add product button. The same procedure goes for this. You have to choose the category, enter the product name, the rest of the details, tap on the OK button, and then you can add a quote from this particular section as well. And all of the quotes then are visible under the my requested quotes, as you can see here, with the details of the quotes as well. Now after the quote has been set by the customer, the vendors can find the quote there under this particular section, that's the RFQ. So if I go to the RFQ here, we'll be able to see the particular quote, as you can see right now. And here are the details of the blue quote itself. And if I tap here, we'll be able to check the quote request. And here you can see that the quote request has been set up by the customer there. Now for the messages, if I go to the product page once again, and here we have the message supplier option. I can tap on that, and I need some units of the product, and we can also add attachments from here, and I'll just tap OK on that. You can see that the message has been sent successfully. Now this particular message would be visible to the vendor under the customer messages. So if I go to the customer messages here, I'll be able to see the name of the customer there, Mary, and I need some units of the product. As you can see, we can reply back to the customer from here. Okay, got it. And after entering it, I can tap on the send button, and this message would then be visible to the customer under their order account. So now if I go back, open the side panel, go to the customer section where we have the supplier messages. So here I'll find the supplier message. Okay, got it, as you can see, and the customer can respond back to the vendor from here as well. Now that was about the messages. Now about the RFQ. The RFQ can be found under the RFQ section. So here's the code that was sent by the customer. Let's view this up. Now the vendor can quote for the product back for the customer there. So we'll tap here on the quote product. So we'll set the quote quantity as 20. Quote per quantity is 13. I don't have to add any samples right now. I can add the shipping info, and after that we can enter a note for the customer to check our quote as a vendor. Is that okay? And then I can tap here on the submit button. As soon as I've done this, this would then be visible to the customer there under his own account panel. So now you can see that right now we don't have anything under the new for the vendor, but under the answered we have the particular one. So is the Mervyn Bank, and we have replied to him. If I waive the quote request, here you can see the quote request is having one thread, and this is my code that I've given. We can quote again, we can reject the quote, reject the request, or we can send a message to the customer as well. If I enter any message here, that would be displayed within the quote threads itself. Now let's go back and let's go to the customers section here. So let's go to the my requested quotes, and the requested quote is here. So let's tap on the view button there. This is the one that was set up by the customer. Let's tap on that, and here the customer can find one quote thread from the supplier there, and can view the quotation that has been provided by the vendor there. So here if the customer feels that it's okay and good to go, then you can see the message as well, is that okay. So the customer can reject the quote, can send a message to the supplier within this particular quote request, or can also approve the last quote as well. To approve the last quote, you'll have to tap here on the approve last quote, and okay, good to go, and okay, and I'll tap on the tick mark at the top after that to approve this particular quote. And here you can see that I've approved the quote, and my message is also there, that's okay, good to go there. So this quote has now been done by the customer's end. Now if I go back to the vendor end and I go to the section that's the RFQ, we can find that one under the confirmed right now. From the answer, it has now been shifted to the confirmed. Here's the Mervyn Bank one, and we can view this quote request there, and you can see that the quote has been approved by the customer. If the vendor wants, he can again quote back to the customer there, can send a message, or can reject the request as well. So that was how the request for quotation can be done, and how the messages can be sent out, and how the quote request can be completed by the customer and can be viewed there by the vendor as well. So this was the account options of the customer, having three main sections there: my requested quotes, request for quote, and the supplier messages. Then we had the supplier account, having the supplier dashboard, supplier profile. If I go to the supplier profile, we'll have the complete details of the supplier there. As you can see from here, he can update any of the details as well as required by him. And if I again go back to the supplier profile there, then we have the supplier dashboard that displays the complete listing there for the suppliers dashboard. So here we can see the sales map, sales graph, top selling categories, and here we can see the top 5 products that are being placed, latest orders, and the recent reviews that have been placed by the customers there. Let's go back. So we have a complete supplier account dashboard here, wherein the suppliers can also check their orders. They can create the attributes as well as per their requirement there. They can add new products, and they can view the complete listing here. They can add the new products as you can see, and if they want, they can also check their complete listing of the supplier products by tapping here on the supplier products. Under the transactions, they can find the complete transactions that have been made. They can chat with the admin as well. They can view the customer messages. They can check the request for quotation sent by the customers by tapping on the RFQ. They can check their buying leads, and they have the account settings. So for today's video, that was much about the B2B vendor mobile app, and I hope it helped you out in understanding the flow of the same. If you still have any questions, queries, suggestions, or requirements, then kindly do reach back to us at support@webkul.com, or you can raise a ticket at webkul.uvidesk.com. Apart from that, if you find this particular video helpful, then do give it a thumbs up. So right now I've just shown you the basic or a brief overview of these options here. In the second video tutorial, I'll be showing you the complete configuration on the web end itself, and how this particular system works as the Magento 2 B2B system. So that's up, and thanks for watching this particular video. and have a great day ahead.